Hello and good evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Revolutionary SPA. Revolutionary means it means transformation, and SPA is about self-purposeful action. Welcome, good evening, good morning. How are you all today? How has the week been? How has the month been? We're coming to the end of the month of April. What have you achieved? What have we achieved as a people, as yourself, as a family, as a couple, as an individual? Welcome to you all. I greet you all in the name of the Almighty. And today's show, we're at episode 17, and it's about an enslaved mindset is a paralyzed mindset. We're going to look at different ways of how we can really revolutionize ourselves, transform ourselves from who we were to what we want to be. So welcome to you all. Good evening. And first off, we're going to start off with our prayers. Always, we start off with gratitude. We thank God for bringing us here, for being here. We're here for growth, evolution, and therefore it is important to acknowledge those we grow with. Every one of us is valuable. And don't forget, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. Wherever you're watching from, we thank you all. We thank you for your contribution, for your comments, for your advice, for your good knowledge that helps us to learn how we can better serve you. I extend my gratitude first to the Almighty for enabling us to come together in the first place. Special thanks to all those that came before us, the elders present and past. Of course, my colleagues at UNN and the TV, known and unknown, but especially those giving your time without ceasing, especially behind the scenes. We appreciate you all UNNians, for trusting and believing in UNN TV's vision and UFCC's vision, Uganda Federal Consultative Council, because we know that, or we're sure that this is the way forward. This is the ideology that will help us to get the revolution that we want, that we desire. All those who continue to contribute to the Ugandan revolution, be it emotionally, practically, financially, or otherwise, we appreciate you all the supporters of fundamental and revolutionary change, including every single one of you. I have not mentioned of, I may not be aware. Who knows that you were for change and playing your part. Remember, it is about the collective, not about the me. It's not about you receiving all the time, but rather giving back. So every time that you think about what you can get from here, ask yourself, how can I add value to our mission? How can I add value to others? Also remember that every time you want to be a consumer than being a producer, be ready to be given or receive what you were given. You cannot be surprised about the quality of service or the product that you were receiving and not willing to get your hands dirty. So let's start producing if we are to have a chance at living. Otherwise, we might as well give up this revolution. So as you sit on UNN today and enjoy the programs brought to you daily, ask yourself, what have I contributed to the cause? If not, how am I going to do it? It's about sharing information, even if it's liking the page or sharing the page. If it's monetary, if it's practical. Can remember the revolution is to transform and do away with the old and in with the new. So as we get into our program, first of all, we're going to hear from, to get our national anthem, and I'll be back to sort of discuss with you or give you my perspective on how I see things. And we will have half an hour of sort of me giving you exactly what I feel about our mindset, what we can do to improve, and my perspective. And this may resonate with you, it may not resonate with you. However, this is my perspective. And then we will go into a short break and come back for the last part of our show. So the show will last about an hour and a half, and I won't take much of your time. But thank you very much for being on here, and let's hear our national anthem as I come back. Thank you.
We lay our future in thy hand, united free for liberty, together we'll always stand. Oh, Uganda, the land of freedom, our love and labor we give, and with neighbors all at our country's calling, peace and friendship.
Welcome back. Welcome again. This is the Revolutionary S.P.A, and it's your host, Sophia Sebi. Today's show is about an enslaved mindset. Is a paralyzed mindset. Our topic today is about an enslaved mindset. Is a paralyzed mindset. Like I always say, I'm speaking in English so that all states can hear me, can understand me, and I'm also talking about our mindset. I'm not going to be going into the politics of this and that, or who did this and who did that. What I'm trying to show you is that the things that are going on for us, the things that are going on around us, they're all around our enslaved mindset. And what does that mean? We are in an enslaved mindset. In turn, it paralyzes us. We are paralyzed by what's going on for us. We are paralyzed by not taking action. We are paralyzed by not being brave enough, courageous enough to bring about the change that we want, to take action. We're all waiting for somebody else to do the action, to change the things that we want to change about our community, about our environment, about our lives sometimes. And of course, this is so much to do with our mindset. Maybe we're a traumatized society. Maybe we're traumatized people for so long being in dictatorial governments for the past 50 years at least. So of course, we are going to find it quite difficult. It's not a thing that cannot be doable, but we are going to find it challenging. And it's not going to be an easy ride, not at all. We need to revolutionize our mind, transform, reinvent, rebrand ourselves from an enslaved mindset so that we are not paralyzed by it, by fear, by the imposter syndrome, by feeling inadequate or someone else making you feel inadequate, that you cannot do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to. This topic might not be necessary for everybody, and I get it. I understand. And I'm not here to please everybody, and not everybody will understand. But if you do understand, then I'm sure you understand that we can do something about it. If we unlearn the limiting beliefs, the things that stop us from doing what it is we need to do about our lives, even if it means something like cleaning up your household, teaching your child something different, getting another job. How are you going to be stuck in a job that you don't like, you complain about, and then think that you'll be good enough to actually come and change the bigger picture, which is the current status quo of our leaderships? So I just want to bring you to this particular quote, and this is Joseph Stalin. He was a dictator, if some may say. He ruled the Soviet Union from about 1922 to about 1950s, and he only got off the seat of power after his death. So he said, ideas are more powerful than guns. We would not let our enemies have guns. Why should we let them have ideas? I'm sure as many of you would, we all think of how are we going to do this? How are we going to bring about change without having the guns? But it's all ideas. It starts with an idea. And this is why we're here. This is why UFCC. This is why UNN. It all starts with an idea. And I've had so many of you on all over the programs for the week. Throughout the week, you have said, UNN, if you didn't come, if you didn't start, where would we be? And maybe that is so true. The fact that an idea has felt like for you, it's a hope. Hope to be able to do something, courage to carry on. So perhaps Stalin was right. As we move on, Stalin also goes on to say, it is easy to govern a stupid people because they will follow you no matter how much pain you cause them. As long as you throw them a little worthless treat once in a while, you have them under your spell, if I may put it that way. Why am I saying this? Because of the developments of the past couple of weeks that have come up. I'm sure you've all, been aware of them. I'm sure, Paul Chimbugwe has been here talking about them, and Mr. Remedios Chintu has been here as well talking about them. I'm not going to talk about the person or the event or the politics that goes on around them, but I just want to show you how it is easy to govern a stupid people because they will follow you no matter how much pain you cause them, as long as you throw them a little worthless treat once in a while. So if I may have our first video, let's have a look at it. And wherever you are, think about it. Reflect on it as you reflect on this quote of Joseph Stalin. What do you think? Are we a stupid people? As we wait for our video to come in, Just think about that statement, that quote. How does it relate to your own life? How do you think that we can get ourselves out of this mindset of being a stupid people or an enslaved mindset that paralyzes us to clap, or that paralyzes to laugh at things that are not really jokes, to glorify these little gods? How does it resonate with you? Does it resonate with you, really? Do you sort of have a feeling of what I'm talking about? Maybe we could have a maybe second video, if we can play as well. But anyway, as it comes, I just want us to sort of just consider this, an enslaved mindset is a paralyzed mindset. So we can clap, you laugh at things that are not jokes, you grin at things that you shouldn't be grinning at. What does that say about us, as a people, about our self-esteem, self-confidence? What does that do to our mindset, our subconscious mind? Every time we do things like that, it goes into a subconscious mind. And when things come which are not usual, they're unusual things, but we make it normal anyway. So let's be honest. Who are we fooling? Are we desiring change? And remember, no one treats you the way they do without your permission, without your consent. Eleanor Roosevelt puts it very lightly. If we can have, let me wait for that video to go off. Hopefully we can. Did we have the volume on? Maybe it doesn't So you can see, as we beg, we become slaves, we become beggars. I mean, it's not funny, but this is the reality of where we are now. This is the reality of how our people are getting to this state of mind. This is about mindset. Even if someone is hitting you, beating you up, you're still wanting that food. What is that food going to do for you? It's only one night or one meal. It won't last you forever. It won't last forever. It's only 1 second or 5 minutes and you're done with that food. But no, you only find it in Uganda. We only find it in Uganda. Yep. Sad but true. What does that say about us? No one treats you the way they do without your permission. We have given permission. As long as you believe that a person is the source of your survival, That person can do anything. Like Stalin said, put it, Chandiwa revolution has said it. You know, the plucked chicken, and I remember, I think I had Paul Chimbugwe, mentioning this. The chicken is plucked, bloody, but going, as soon as they throw the grains on the ground, it comes running for that food. This is no different from us. So no one treats you the way they do without your permission. As long as you believe the person is the source of your survival, that person can do anything. You become paralyzed and he can do anything. So this is not different from dictators, psychopaths, controllers, and abusers, or sometimes jealousy or lust gets us to this state of mind. So my thoughts and comments I made on one of the Facebook posts last week following the event, I'm not going to mention the event, it's not worthy, that was making rounds this week is as follows, and I still stand by it. You know that speech, that kindergarten speech that you all heard? I mean, the person who is making the speech was not the problem. He was fine. He was fine. It was the audience that worries me. Why are we so gullible to this extent? Imagine those hooing and hooing with lots of clapping as if the speaker was making history. This was not extraordinary to what has been said or done before. Or was it necessary? Unless they're trying so hard because of what Stalin talks about, being on payroll or, going for those grains, the food that's being served. Yeah, how stupid are we? Sometimes you wonder about humans, especially Ugandans to be precise. Despite our extraordinary powers that we have from God above all creatures, we have powerful minds. God made us with powerful minds above all creatures. We remain stupid, like some commentaries I read or heard on our programs over the week. What a disappointment the Creator, the Most High, must be wondering. I am sure sometimes he wonders whether he'd have given the human mind to some other creature or animal. Anyway, what I say, mweli the birthday ya mwe, ebyegwanga mu biveeko. As I always say it and put this quote, just because you don't see it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Just like the Nazi Germany Holocaust, despite all the signs, it crept up on the millions of people that lost their lives. Both those who did something and those who did not do something were all in the same boat. So if we lament or turn a blind eye and not take action now, all the previous sacrifices we made for freedom would have been for nothing. I say we because as a child of that time, me as a child of that time, pre and post 1986 war, we sacrificed directly and indirectly for the freedoms of today's majority. I speak to those who were not yet born, who are under age 40. As a child of the 1986 war, I remember it vividly like it was yesterday. At least I remember my version of the story. I remember me and my siblings separated from our parents and stayed in the village with grandparents. That was a sacrifice. Leaving our homes and comforts, that was a sacrifice. Loss of property, everything. We only had a few clothes to put on our bodies, only a few clothes. We left everything. So whatever you're accumulating now, just remember, you're accumulating it, you're building, back home, or you're feeling the house, which is probably lived in by, by tenants, or lived in by family members, or lived in by, I'm talking about maybe the diaspora. If you think about it, whatever you're working towards, accumulating at home, will you enjoy it? If the BCD is concluded, will you enjoy it? So we lost property, everything which was sacrificed, loss of loved ones, we sacrificed, willing to rebuild on return. It didn't matter how much damage, we got on with it and rebuilt. So freedom does not come cheap. There is a cost to everything in this world, everything. I'm sure some of you might know the saying that goes, test the waters or throw a small stone and see what comes out. Well, this event, the birthday event, was one of those times that test and stretch our human capacity to exercise patience, understanding, and be rational. We cannot be rational, I suppose, anymore. For me, this incident, I hope, like many of us, it has ignited a fire, a zeal to keep on going and show that we cannot relax about the change. Just give me 1 second. We cannot relax about the change. So as we go into a small break, before we go, let me finish off this. I hope this incident has also showed you how urgent we need that change. Okay, we take a quick
Problems of
break.
the youth and looking into their interests. All they need is serious attention. What I know about youth, since I'm very close to them, is that youth like two things mainly: sports and entertainment. We need to invest in sports facilities in this country because the youth have too much energy. So if you leave them idle, they become a problem. Let's invest in sports facilities. Let's rehabilitate our football stadiums. Let us expand. Let us expand and really give the youth what they want. Let's invest in music industry, in film, all the arts. Will be a long way in solving, and there's no mystery to it. It's quite simple to solve.
Obwetaavu obw'enkola eya federo mu Uganda. Ekisooka, enkola eya federo eteekawo eddembe n'obutetenkefu mu bitundu eby'eggwanga. Ekyokubiri, enkola eya federo buli omu asobola okwenyigira mu byobufuzi. Ekyokusatu, enkola eya federo eyambako ebyensimbi mu kulaakulana mu ggwanga. Ekyokuna, enkola eya federo essaawo emitendera mu gavumenti amateeka gasobole okuteekebwa mu nkola. Ekyokutaano, enkola eya federo essaawo okuteesaganya n'okwanjula ebirowoozo. Ekyomukaaga, enkola eya federo eyambako okutaayiza effugabbi eri bannansi. Ekyomusanvu, enkola eya federo eteekawo okwegatta awatali kukakaatika madiini, ennono oba ebyobulamu. Weewandiise ku lukiiko olwa UFCC ku www.ufcc.uk.
Welcome back, our viewers. Thank you for being on here. Thank you so much. I can see your comments, all of you. I can see those from South Africa. I can see those from Australia, watching from wherever you are, the Arab nations. Welcome to you all. If you're in London, if you're in UK, wherever you are, if you're in Uganda, welcome to all of you. I'm sorry, obviously, I don't know where everyone is, but I do welcome you all. I do appreciate you all for being on here. And today is the Revolutionary SPA. We're always here from 6:30 or 7 to about 8:30. This program is about an hour and a half. Of course, if it's needed or need be that we will be here for a couple of hours, why not? Because it is important. It's an important thing that we come on here. It's important that I am always present. This is my doing something. This is the Revolutionary SPA. My name is Sophia Sebi, and Revolutionary SPA means self-purposeful action. This is about our mindset. This is about us learning how do we get the courage? How do we get the fear out of our mind to do something differently? I know you can see my facial expressions sometimes because I am so passionate about this. And I want each and every one of us to come away from here having learned that fear is an imagined thing. It doesn't matter whatever you're doing, if it's sharing the video, if it's monetary, if it's emotional, practical, and you're giving back to this revolution. Otherwise, we are in deep trouble. So when we talk about an enslaved mindset, it means about we get paralyzed. We get paralyzed by an enslaved mindset. An enslavement would have come from so many years of thinking we rely on one person for survival. We've given our power back to these people, to someone else, to something else, eat things, material things, money. And we've colluded with this, with this dictatorship. We've colluded with their abuser, with their controller. We've given them our power back. As long as you beg for something, begging for food in a box, imagine our youth. Oh, God help us. Well, I'll repeat, this event for me was one of those times that tests you and stretches your human capacity to be considerate, to be understanding, to have remorse, to have patience, and do away with anything that's rational. This incident, I hope, like me, many of us, it has ignited a fire, a zeal to keep us going and show that we cannot relax about the change. I hope this incident has also showed you how urgent we need that change, but how urgent we need to take action. It is funny yet true that Ugandans think that change will come from the sky, from night prayers, by a magic wand, or standing on the sidelines. That is not an option where we are now. Because whether you are involved in the revolution or not, change is coming. Good or bad, change is coming. Like it or not, change is coming. Crying, burying your head in the sand, change is coming. Lamenting, complaining, blaming, pointing fingers, or sabotaging, it is all a waste of time, of valuable time. Change is coming. No matter what you think of personalities, mine or Prince Paul Chimbuge or Mrs. Elizabeth or Wamala or Mr. Chintu, change is coming. Educated or uneducated, change is coming. Rich or poor, change is coming. Living in a mud hut or a mansion, change is coming. Feeling in control or not in control, change is coming. Privileged or not, change is coming. Home or in the diaspora, change is coming. Zero money in the bank account or not, or millions in the bank account, change is coming. No matter how you put it, no matter how you say it, no matter how you see it, no matter what you do, change is coming. Change must come. Remember, change is the only constant thing, and you and I have no control over change. Just because you don't see it, it does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not see it, it does not mean it doesn't exist. I would like to tell you a story about Jesus. Do you know, Jesus told his disciples, when they worried about leaving behind their possessions, they worried about, what can we do, Lord? Why are we not taking, where will we leave our things, our houses, our things we've accumulated over the years? He said to them, if you were to live in the kingdom of God, you must give up the things of the world. Where is the kingdom of God? It's in you and me. I'm not here to preach, but I just want to let you know, serving Jesus, the Jesus you serve, or the Allah you serve, or the Muhammad, serving Jesus is believing in God and love. So we may be like him. So we too are capable of doing anything if we truly live our beliefs. Our belief systems are about these religions, these something. No matter what these may be, what I know is that most religious or belief systems are about dying to ourselves and living for others. Like I said, I'm not here to preach, but rather bring to your attention the values that many of us live by, the values that guide us, and we place value. These are about our culture. Our culture as maybe a people from Karamoja or Choli, or people from Ankole, or people from Bunyoro. And also they're about the religion that we follow, or the spiritual route that we follow. These all make up our values of how we do things. These are principles. So if this is not how we live our lives, then why do we frequent the church, the mosque, the synagogue, the temple? Why? We need to take back control of our life. This is our life, not another person's. So the circumstances we are in are just a reflection of how we have internalized our reality, our subconscious, the thought processes about what we deserve and don't deserve. We have chosen to collude with the abuser. We have chosen corruption. We have chosen bribes. We have chosen not to adhere to queuing up, for instance. If you went, I remember one time I was in Uganda, and I went to this, I think it was a bar or whatever. I went, so I'm here queuing up, waiting to go to the loo, and someone comes and goes past me to go. I've been there waiting all this time. The difference between that person and myself, it was about the mindset. Waiting my turn. But this mindset of entitlement, thinking that you can bypass the queue, you can just go on, and everybody else that's standing there waiting is stupid. The actions that we have taken, we demonstrate an evidence that we have chosen to pay less into ourselves, into our community, into the universe, and expected the universe to give us back. No matter what we have given in, just because we have asked or desired it, we think the universe should give us, God should give us, Allah should give us, Jehovah, Jesus they will not give us unless we deserve it, unless we mean it, unless we have given back. to God what God deserves. What does that mean? Have you given back to your community everything that's going on about around us? So time is the only value you have, and you and I have no control. You and I have no control of time, but we have control of what we can do. Instead of lamenting, we have control, that we take action. Instead of crying about it, we have control. So time is the only value you have. And you and I have no control over how fast the time goes or how slow it goes. So my final thoughts as we come to the conclusion of our program. For example, you have a home. I'm giving you an example, a day-to-day example of how, how our mindset really works, how we have become the things that we have become, not doing anything, just waiting for somebody else to do something for us, waiting for the corruption, bribing, all of those things. For example, you have a home, you treat it like trash, you hoard, that is collecting things that are useless, ornaments, you don't clean up, you litter the streets or your home everywhere. You don't care for it. You don't do the repairs that need doing. And you don't do it at the right time, at the right place, or in the right time. You will say today, you will say, I'll do it tomorrow, not today. Every time you do that, what happens? Guess what will happen? Your home will be dirty, will be filthy, will be full of useless things. Hide the useful things. Your home will be full of cracks, will be broken. And finally, it or things in it, your home, will fall on top of you. It will damage you. It might cause injury. And you will be forced to rebuild. And this is exactly how our mind is, how our subconscious mind is. We filled it with things, with ornaments, with limiting beliefs, with, we've believed the people that tell us we are not good enough. You don't deserve. When we walk on the roads that we walk, when we don't have the hospitals that we deserve, when we don't have the healthcare that we have, when we don't have the social care system that we deserve, when our elderly do not have the respect that they deserve, when we let people walk all over us, when we let someone hit or, cane us as if they're caning a cow, when we clap to something that should not be, it should be crying or should be detesting, when we should be saying, no, I'm not listening to this trash, the task to clean up will be enormous. And it is now. It seems bigger than we can handle. So what will you do? Will you give up that you want and move on to the street to sleep because your house is full of trash, of useless ornaments? The more you give up on cleaning up the mess, you normalize it. It becomes reality. It becomes part of you, your subconscious mind, and trying to go back the way it was before, you hoarded or you filled it with useless things, or understanding how you got here, it seems impossible. So think about our environment, our mindsets, as that sort of house that you filled with useless things. And you need to take all that you can. It seems impossible that we can win. It seems impossible that the task is too big to handle. It seems impossible, but nothing is impossible. Only our mindset is enslaved. I know, I think I might be wrong, but research shows that it takes only 30 days to learn a new behavior or habit, but it takes 90 days to unlearn. The same goes. This is our situation. This is your situation. Another example I want to give you. Have you ever heard of universal laws? Like laws of attraction, laws of cause and effect. For instance, the law of cause and effect, it demonstrates our current circumstances perfectly, in my view. Do some further reading or research, if you will. Universal laws. We have created the monsters under our beds, in our communities, in our leaderships, and those in positions of power. And remember, knowledge is not power, but applied knowledge is power. So we can be here all day and talk, as long as we are not putting into action what we learn. Start from where you are. Start from your life. How are you going to revolutionize your own life? Do away with that silly job. Do away with wanting to have paycheck. Do away from working hard but working smart. Do away with not being on TV all day, scrolling through social media all day, hanging around the bad, those people that don't build you, but give you negative energy. Do your part. Get involved for a revolutionary a revolutionary change, our mindset, our motherland. It will be. Don't forget, follow, subscribe, and share. We are live on the following platforms. If any platforms, please switch to another. We're on getunn.com/radio, get UNN TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I believe we're on twitch.tv/getunn. We're on all those platforms. You cannot not miss. If you must, rewatch any program so that you can understand once more again. But again, like I say, we need to take action. But most of the action is really about our mindset, because most of the things that we need to do to move on, to move forward, it's all our limiting beliefs. Someone has told us that we are not good enough. Every single one of you has the power to change the status quo. And those who are not involved in the revolution, it's okay, because even if you don't see the war against humanity, especially in our case about Ugandan situation, it does not mean it doesn't exist. It just means you have a different perception. It's the things that it's about how we look at things. Because every time you look at things, the things you look at change. The things that you expose yourselves change your perspective. So today is an enslaved mind, is a paralyzed mindset. Which one are you going to be? Is Sophia Sebi, your host on the Revolutionary SPA Self-Purposeful Action. Have a good evening. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on UNN. And I pray for you. So, I pray. So, what are you going to choose? Are you going to lie down and die or get up and live? Are you going to lie down and die or get up and live? I'm choosing living and I'm here contributing. I'm here doing my thing. What are you doing? May God bless you all. Good evening. May God bless Uganda.